Some of you are brand new coming back to faith. Some of you, this is the first introduction to a story in the Old Testament you've had. Others of you grew up in a church and there was a felt board Joseph in a Sunday school class somewhere. And some of you were confused. Are we talking about Jesus' dad here? Right? You're still kind of stuck there. We misread the Old Testament way more than we should. Joseph isn't the point. Joseph isn't a hero. His life is a picture. It's a picture for all of us who find our life, here it is, in the gap between what we thought life would be and what life actually is. There's a picture of the way you think life will go and the way it actually goes. And the peace of God isn't bound to your setting. Isn't bound to the romance in your marriage. Isn't bound to your kids nailing it. Isn't bound to your bank account. Isn't bound to your good health. Isn't bound to you finally getting in the dream home. Isn't bound to you finally getting the recognition you deserve. The peace of God isn't bound to our setting, and the purposes of God don't change, right, when things don't go the way we thought. The presence of God is the source of our peace, and the peace with God comes through Jesus and Jesus alone. There would be another favored son who would be betrayed and mistreated by his own people, by his own blood. Years later, there would be one who would come who would be falsely accused and thrown into prison, but his captivity wouldn't be a pit, it would be a cross. Years later, there would be one who was tempted in every way and did the right thing. He still bore the weight of all of our wrong choices on him. Years later, there would be one who would rise up from a pit. It would be the pit of a grave, and he would rise from the grave. Years later, there would be another act that was meant for evil, but God would use for good. Years later, there would be one who comes to set his people free. The people that put him in the prison, the people that put him on the cross, the people that sinned that he took on himself. He came to set you free, and he came to set you free eternally. My friends, Jesus is the greater Joseph. Jesus is the greater Joseph. It's the picture of Jesus.